Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Low Ink July 2020. I'm Astro, and I'm joined here by Popgun.
Hi, yes, me.
And we are here with round 2 of our alpha bracket. We're going to have West Broadway Grillers versus Xanadu, two kind of mainstays in Low Ink. You've definitely seen them around here before.
Yes, the Grillers have made top cut the past 4 tournaments in a row. They're a Div 4 team that made the playoffs. They've been a team that's been in existence, I think, since late 2018. So the Grillers, if you don't know who the Grillers are at this point, you're just not paying attention. And Xanadu, a team that's been playing in a lot of these lower level tournaments recently, a Div 5 team. I don't know when they were existed or like when they were created, but they've been around for a long time as well. So it's good to see these two well-known, established teams fighting in Top Cut and Low Ink. Not that I have anything against newer teams or pickups, but it's nice to see like actual legit teams that's been around for a while. Especially when we see like rivalries start to form. Not saying this one is, but we know these players very well, and we're going to be seeing them at Tower Control Hotel for what should be an exciting matchup. Real quickly, Astro, I did want to point out, Xanadu beat Symphony 3-2. I was looking at the score. I think Symphony was up 2-0, or it was up 1-0 at one point. So Xanadu had to come back for that one. The Grillers beat Takedown 3-1. So both teams coming off some strong wins in round 1.
Absolutely. Well, these are two of the better teams in Low Ink. They've both been making a lot of waves recently as far as improvement. The results have been so much better. You can see it in other tournaments that they have played in recently as well. They are definitely going in the right direction, and so we're going to see a really good set here between these two.
Better. So Tower Control at Hotel. This map usually favors long-ranged weapons. However, if you know Xanadu, they are famous for using that bamboo as their quote-unquote anchor weapon, the longest range. They use a very aggressive comp. Grillers, we're seeing things a little bit more traditional, especially that Crapid Blaster, the Kinsa Rapid, which you see used a lot on Hotel, regardless of mode.
Yeah, just a little bit of latency. I thought he was about to die there. But no, he definitely got the pick, so that bamboo actually might struggle just a little bit against the tower. You're going to see it right against their charger. You're going to see it right there. That charger is just going to be able to outrange it on this map in such a slow mode. It's going to make a pretty big difference. We see immediately as soon as they try to put on a push, oh, Sam almost died there. It's immediately as they start to put on a push, Xanadu immediately hits a bit of a wall right there with the charger taking down that bamboo, and they are unable to go any further. They now have a good chance right here. That's 1 down, the bamboo down, possibly 2. That is 2. They might get 3, just got to push forward just a little bit, and now they do. So they're in great position to start pushing the tower to round that checkpoint right there.
Yeah, Sam dominating, as we see Sam just now going down, but Sam getting a lot of key picks there with the charger for the West Broadway Grillers, and doing it without having to fire off a single Stingray yet as we go down to minute 30 seconds here.
Did you just see that?
What did we? I think you might be a little bit ahead of me. What did we miss here?
No, you got to single-handedly got a triple.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we see the Grillers pushing the tower here. They cleared the first checkpoint earlier as they're trying to get past this second one here. As you see, Ninja getting a lot of big kills here with the CDS hour. They're the last player alive. Fuzz finally go down, so the checkpoint will remain defended by Xanadu as they look to get a push going. They now have 1 checkpoint they need to clear.
Yes, absolutely. The charger finally in a little bit of a a little bit of a sticky situation. The missiles are actually going to be coming out. They are 1 down, however, so it's a little bit of a slow situation for them. That is 2 more going down, effectively 3 down as the Tetras just get back in. It's time to back up, but not before they go down. So 2 down on the side of Xanadu, possibly 3. That is 3. So this is going to be a really big push moment and a really good chance for them to get something going here.
Yes, you see the Gorilla Sam really pushed up with that Charger, but once again, getting a lot of huge picks. You kind of mentioned that Charger was going to have an advantage over that Bamboo, and it's really starting to show here as they approach the second checkpoint with about 2 minutes left to go. And again, only doing it with 1 Stingray being fired off so far. And you look at the specials at the top of the screen, not a lot of specials getting fired off for Xanadu outside of the missiles from the Bamboo. But not a single splashdown has been landed, only 2 armors, 1 rain. So Xanadu's having a difficult time creating space to build up those specials they need to get pushes going.
Oh, and that's a really big, important pick right there for the Tetras. So the Tetras on the side of Xanadu are really going to have to start getting quite a bit more picks and start moving forward. Right here, there's so much space, there's no reason not to move forward, but the team is just a little slow behind them, just long enough so that West Broadway Grillers are able to get back in and start defending that corner. The Ray coming out from Broadway Grillers, that is going to get 1, possibly 2 right here. The Tetras are just now a little overextended now. Unfortunately, this might be the end of their push, but they are pushing it through this checkpoint as far as they can.
Yes, getting past this checkpoint would be huge, but with 1 player left alive versus 4 of the Grillers, it's not going to happen. So as we go under a minute now, Xanadu's going to have to find a way to get past that checkpoint. And getting a pick there on Jim is Leo with the Bamboozler. It does get another trade. That's going to help kind of find a way to solve this push, but they're having a lot of difficulty dealing with Sam, who already has 12 KAs with a Splat Charger before going down right there. But still, once again, that Charger taking control of things for the Grillers, but is going to need to find a way to get 1 more Stingray as Xanadu approaches yet again this first checkpoint that they have a lot of difficulty getting past.
Yeah, I mean, being such a large, open, flat map, that Stingray really is going to be the GG Ray right here if they can't find a way to take out that Charger. Xanadu's kind of in a really bad situation. The Charger is a little pushed up, like you said, but as long as the Charger hits their shots, it's a one frame death. Yep, the Charger is about to jump back and pop that Stingray right now, so now it's time to push forward, and they do. West Broadway Grillers are going to go ahead and take game 1 against Xanadu.
Yeah, the map just worked out better in the favor for the Grillers there. Xanadu's always going to be using that more aggressive anchorless comp that they're kind of known for at this point. And yeah, a map like Hotel where just long range rules just kind of went in the favor for the Grillers there, and especially Sam for the Grillers popping off with the Splash Charger.
Absolutely, and you know, Xanadu, they could have made things work incredibly well had they actually put on more angles of pressure than just trying to scream right through the left side where the Charger was going, because, you know, while objective is rather stationary and you can't push too much further forward from it, there are different ways that you can push through into that left side so that it's much, much harder to defend, and unfortunately, Xanadu was kind of just walking straight into a Charger.
Yes, so now we're moving it to Rainmaker, which the mode alone will work more into Xanadu's favor this time around. The map being Muscle Forge Fitness. On this map, there's really only 1 way you can push, unless you just get a full wipe going through the elbow on the left or right, based on wherever you are positioned. But going through that zip line, if you get a wipe, especially if you can send 1 player to flank through that zip line, can be the key to this game if it comes down to just a few points at the end here.
Yeah, absolutely, and working to create that pincer. And not to say that while you're pushing through that choke point on your left side or their right side of the map, essentially, it's not to say that you can't make pincers in that area and push through it, but yeah, when you've got another side of the map to work with and send someone to help create that pincer from a completely different part of the map, that can help immensely if you're able to time it right. So Yeah, that might be pretty key, and don't get me wrong, if both teams start playing super fast, then that actual left push might start being a little bit viable depending on the situation. So definitely don't count that side of the map out, but yeah, it's going to be very difficult to push in through for a KO on this map.
So we're getting game 2 started. Again, Grillers won the first game in this best of 5. And I believe I got the same stream as you now, so I'm going to be on the same speed, as we do see pretty much the same comps coming out here. Interesting enough that the Grillers would have Cookie, one of their more aggressive players, using the N-Zap. You're used to kind of seeing Cookie use something like a Brush or even a K-Pro at times. But we do see the Tetras immediately going down for Xanadu, who is using basically the same comp, except Tri-Slosher Nouveau. This time around, and no armor for the side of Xanadu.
Well, you know, honestly, I believe the Zap pick actually might make just a little bit of sense, because Zap, if you're going to go with an armor weapon, Zap is definitely a very aggressive one to pick. You know, the RNG on its shots, having such little variation on its spray, really can make a huge difference if you're trying to properly support your teammates and put down some aggressive fire.
Basically all 4 specials ready now for Xanadu as they look to get control of mid, letting the Rainmaker reset. Leo trying to find somebody to get a pick on, and they do manage to get one with the Inkjet there on the CDS. So here comes the first push from Xanadu, who does take the lead and does have an opportunity to get more. However, the Stingray from Sam proving to be strong yet again, getting a couple of picks there. Make that 3 with Leo being the last player alive. That is a wipe. So lead going to Xanadu, but I don't think it's going to last very long.
Oh yeah, they've got to go though. They've got to capitalize on this wipe. If they play too slow right here, it looks like Xanadu is going to get right back in, and of course they do, coming up with a pick right there to put a very oh, another nice pick right there. So the Tetris coming in, very key here on the left flank actually, and that's going to basically put a hold on anything happening for probably the next 10 to 15 seconds in this map. It's a really bad situation for West Broadway Grillers to be in at this moment, so they're going to have to make some adjustments, but they do get a pick on the Tetris. The Ray coming out, the missiles coming out in response, but as long as those missiles are behind them, they should be okay, and they do. So now they're going to start pushing forward through this right side, working on creating an opening and creating a hole.
Yes, the Grillers do get the lead there, but before they can establish a lead that's actually significant, 3 players immediately go down. That is a delayed wipe with Cookie going down, trying to push up and create a path for the Rainmaker. Probably didn't realize their teammates were defeated behind them. So that the control of the map at least will go in the favor of Xanadu, but we do have a 4v4 brawl going on in mid here as the Rainmaker starts to reset. And we'll now head back to mid. Sam going down for the Grillers, along with Cookie, so 2 players down. Xanadu with the advantage here. Can they find a way to get a lead that can actually feel comfortable with about 2 minutes left to go? And then,
when they
do get the lead, but once again lose so many players in the process. This is going to be another opportunity for the Grillers to reclaim it. It's going to very seesaw back and forth. First 3 minutes of this Rainmaker match, Astro.
Yeah, you know, wipe after wipe after wipe. Frankly, I'm surprised that the points really aren't higher than they are, and the lead does go right back to West Broadway Grillers. But, you know, the points being as low as they are, really it's just kind of a signal that both teams are just moving just a little bit too slow. They're not capitalizing on deaths. You know, when the other team is respawning, you can push forward, push up.
Yeah, and each team putting a lot of emphasis on each push, going all out, basically getting wiped every single time they push. But this time around, the Grillers with 38 remaining, that's a lead you can somewhat feel comfortable with at this point, especially with about a minute left to go. And since you have the Stingray on your side and Xanadu does not. So with about a minute left to go, Xanadu is going to have to, if they keep pushing up the right side, they're going to have to find a way to turn that corner and go up it just a foot or so if they want to reclaim the lead here with about 50 seconds left.
Oh yeah, and you know, the interesting thing is, though, you know, the losing team does have special advantage, so they are going to be able to pop more specials for this push, so this puts them effectively in some maps and modes at an advantage over the defending team. Oh, and a nice pick right there from the Inkjet. So this Inkjet is going to go ahead and start creating a hole. If the other team can start pushing forward off of it, then this is going to be their opportunity right here. Oh, and a nice shot by Sam.
Sam with a huge pick on Lakeski there. Another one on Leo. Sam having an absolute dominant first couple of games here and has almost got that GG Ray ready. As you can see, Sam jumping out, does escape death and has plenty of room to build up there as Xanadu gets ready for their final push. And it looks like the Rainmaker carrier there just waiting for a few picks to come in. But with the Inkjet coming out now, causing a bit of chaos, and there comes the Stingray with only 2 players left alive for Xanadu. Can Sam find the Rainmaker? And they do once again. The Stingray play from Sam coming up huge as the Grillers go up 2-0. But this very easily could have been 2-0 the other way. This has been a competitive set so far.
Absolutely. And, Sam right there coming up very, very clutch. Frankly, won in the last minute of the match, just won his team the match. I mean, so effective. So huge snipes. Those last 2 snipes at the end just basically put a complete brick wall in the face of Xanadu, and they just kind of had to start climbing back up the mountain, but they didn't have time to do it. The Ray coming out, and it was just game over from there. But this set certainly isn't over, and Xanadu are still in it. Arawanamal Clan Blitz next, and this is going to be yet another really fast mode, and Xanadu could do very well.
Well, yes, but at the same time, if you're thinking of a map that's going to really benefit a scoped charger using Stingray, as Sam has already proven. So Xanadu's going to have to find a way to make Sam as uncomfortable as possible. And if they can do that, then yeah, their speed's going to really work out to their advantage here. But this is just a sniper playground here, and as Sam's been hitting their shots, especially if we go back, you kind of pointed out, with the Tetris player just harassing Sam, able to get that key pick there, was huge. So, yeah, Grillers have been doing a good job of protecting their backliner here, and that's going to be key to winning this game if they want to close this out and move on to semifinals.
Yeah, absolutely. But, don't get me wrong, in Clan Blitz, I guess one of the best ways to put it is Rainmaker is how quickly you can push on offense, and Clan Blitz is how quickly you can push on defense, essentially. So one thing that is probably going to be playing to Xanadu's favor just a little bit is that they actually were very, very strong on defense. They were getting wipe after wipe after wipe. They just did not push forward and push through and take advantage of the picks that they got. But
yeah, the only time they ever really got wiped is when they were doing pushes themselves. They were doing a good job of not getting destroyed on defense, which is why they didn't give up that huge lead here. But wait, who's the Grillers electing to use the C-Jet, so we're gonna go with and Tenacity on that C-Jet as well. So get ready to see nothing but Stingray spam coming out from the Grillers, but the only real difference from Xanadu is the MK3 Bamboo with Bubbles and Fizzy, as well as armor coming out from the Vanilla Tri instead of the Nouveau.
Yeah, but keep in mind, Xanadu, they have beacons. That automatically is going to make them the faster team, unless Xanadu, unless Broadway Grillers can really do much about it.
I don't see beacons for either team. I don't think.
Is that not the beacon Bamboo?
Oh no, that's Fizzy Bomb and Bubbles.
Okay.
From MK3. But yeah, beacons would have been nice for this map, especially. But with 1 minute left to go here, or 1 minute gone by, and both teams being a little bit passive, 2 players do go down for the Grillers. So we do see Xanadu getting control of mid. They do have enough clams to make a power, but I don't think they're in quite the position they need to be to make a push yet, as we do see some specials coming out, and Stingray ready for the Grillers as 2 players go down for Xanadu. Frost trying to control the alley here on the left side of the map. Does jump out. Oh, and will jump out with 7 clams, so they'll lose all the clams they have and give control of mid to the Grillers here.
Yeah, playing just a little bit too careful, too patient. You know, like I said, they are really, really strong on defense, but they just don't take advantage of their situations. They don't push through them and really make the best out of them. Unfortunately for them, that's really not going to play to their favor in most modes. Splat zones, it can be done if you can work to try to punish aggression, but for the most part in this game, you have to play fast and you have to play aggressive.
The Grillers were able to get a score there, but not have any clams to follow it up with, so they redeem literally nothing, as now Xanadu is able to get control of the situation here, and they're going to get lead, and they have a lot of clams to work with as well to keep it going, as they already get under 50. One more clam will get them under. Oh, it's a DC?
Yeah.
How long has this been going on? I was getting hyped
past
there.
10 seconds. Yeah, so
Well,
unfortunately...
still with 18 points remaining, Xanadu, can they get the KO? They do! Wow, what a win that doesn't mean anything for Xanadu.
I don't know about that, honestly. I think that if I was Xanadu, I'd say, hey, that felt pretty good.
Feels good to win there.
Now let's make one that counts.
So DC rules, they're going to have to replay all the same weapons, which they're on stream, so it's easy for us to check that. I guess it just comes down to a matter of, did Cookie just DC for that one particular moment, or did their internet completely explode and they're done for the rest of the day? So I guess we'll just wait and see if Cookie can join the lobby back or not.
Regardless, they do have more folks on their roster, do they not?
Yes. As far as people that are active for today, I have no idea, but yeah, the Grillers' traditional roster, I think, goes 6 players deep. Devi, their captain, hasn't been playing today, as well as Toxic. You know, the Grillers' roster, I mentioned they kind of formed at the end of 2018. Their roster really hasn't changed much either. It's so easy for players to just play on a team for a few months, and then you don't win your Ludi group or whatever, and you just disband and form a new team with a bunch of other people who lost. But the Grillers, they've never really... They've just kind of grinded their way out. You know, they started out in Div 6 a couple of seasons ago, moved up to Div 4, and they've done it without having to change their roster much. They grinded things out with the people they still have, and there's a lot to be said about that, I think, especially in this community.
You know, shades of Deep Blues right there. That's actually how Deep Blues got as far as they did. They just stuck it out with the same roster pretty much for years. It's only pretty recently, I believe in 2020, or was it late 2019, that their roster underwent some serious changes. But you still have a few mainstays from their original roster on Deep Blues, and yeah, so shades of Deep Blues to them. Let's see how far they can go.
And same for Xanadu as well. Lakeski, Leo, Wiltsy, Frosh. These are all guys that have been a part of Xanadu for as far as I can remember. So, and Cookie has rejoined, and everyone readied up extremely quickly. So we are going to be giving you, hopefully, a real Airwana Clan Blitz. Once again, Grillers win this one, they will win the entire set. Xanadu playing for their winner bracket lives right now.
Absolutely.
Have we talked about the pick to use C-Jet over Splatterscope that's been working out so well for the Grillers so far?
Well,
and especially on a map like this?
Modern comp, it makes complete sense. C-Jet's just the fastest backline. If you're gonna play a backline weapon, oftentimes you're just gonna need something fast. And modern comp, backline's not even viable much of the time. So, especially in one of the faster modes like Clan Blitz, it does make complete sense to switch to.
The speed working out very well here for Xanadu in the opening 30 seconds here. So they're able to get a lot of key picks here. You see Wiltsey pushing up, trying to just keep the respawning players away from mid so that all their players can gather at clams to get a push going here. Popping armor, bubbles are ready as well. Xanadu's in position. They just don't have the clams yet. They finally have 10 as a team, but now they might have waited a little bit too long as 2 players go down, and now the Guerrillas have so many specials to work with to defend, even though Xanadu does have control in mid here.
Yeah, it was actually quite interesting. Popped the armor and then immediately ran backwards. When you have armor, you have advantage. You know, you push forward. You can take more shots than them. It doesn't matter if they get pre-fire on you. You'll at the very least get a trade. And so you just push forward when you get armor. You'd be surprised just how far that'll take you. Just the basics.
So a trade there in mid. It looks like Xanadu does have a power clam, however they're on their side of the map. But they do have bubbles to work with. They've had bubbles ready a long time, and the bubble player does go down. So Leo's going to have to find a way to get into position to use those bubbles so that Xanadu can get a push going. But once again, things just haven't been lining up for either team yet. They've either been getting the kills and not having the clams, or having the specials. But yeah, and there goes a full white for Xanadu on the Grillers. So now Xanadu finally has the situation to where they can get something going. All the stars have aligned. It's just a matter of can they get a basket in. And what a defense there by the Grillers. Yeah, 2 players immediately going down for Xanadu. Make that 3.
Yeah, they just played a little bit too slow. You know, they had a full wipe. There was no reason they shouldn't have been immediately as far up as they could possibly go. Because what they really should be focused on when something like that happens is just advancing neutral as far as it will possibly go. Making sure that it's just as far into their spawn as it can possibly be. And unfortunately, they didn't really do that. They just kind of sat around tossing clams to each other until it was too late. Seconds make a massive difference in this game.
So now we approach about 2 minutes left to go. The Grillers trying to get a push going. They do actually pop the basket. They don't have the clams or the players alive to really keep the push going. So they will be able to give Xanadu a mercy clam here. But with the way Xanadu's been having difficulty getting points going, for all we know, the 80 to 100 remaining could be the win for the Grillers if they keep playing defense as good as they have been.
Well, you know, just kind of look at Xanadu's comp. You've got 2 weapons that are really, 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 really good at killing. You've got the Tetris and the Bamboo. And essentially, you're going to have a situation right there where you've built half your comp entirely around getting those picks. But if you're not pushing forward and pushing through fast enough and pushing through hard enough, you're not going to make those picks count for anything. And unfortunately for them, they're just playing a little bit too slow, and it's playing to West Broadway Grillers' favor. Not to say that they're any worse players than West Broadway Grillers, it's just that they need to make a bit of an adjustment on how they push together, and that is going to be another power clam and make that 2. So actually, with 1 minute left, the West Broadway Grillers are going to extend their lead just a little bit, possibly 2 more clams, and they do get them.
Yes, this one push here, blowing the game wide open in the favor for the Grillers. As you see Jim there using missiles just to kind of delay the spawn a little bit. But the push is still going with 12 remaining. Frosh able to pick up the Mercy Clam, so the Xanadu will have a couple of clams to work with. But again, they're just not getting specials off. 1 splashdown, 0 bubbles, 2 armors, 2 rains. The specials not coming for Xanadu. They all need to happen at the same time here if Xanadu's going to find a way, not just to pop the basket, but to find a way to win the game. As they do with about 15 seconds. 3 players going down here. The Forge Pro, the last one, underneath the basket for the Grillers. But again, the Xanadu having trouble struggling to juggle clams. Do find a way to form a power clam. Come in with 1 more. I don't know if they still have a Mercy to work with yet, but they're just going to have to keep this basket going for a long time, and they're going to need to get a lot of kills. Here comes a power clam coming from the alley. Oh, they're only 13 points away now. That's just 5 power clams, or 5 regular clams if they can find the way, but they don't have any clams at all. The tri-slosh for the last one, no clams, so a heck of a push there from Xanadu. But ultimately, it was just too big of a mountain to overcome as the Grillers take the set.
Oh yeah, and you know that was a really, really, really good final push by Xanadu. You saw right there, they were finally pushed up far enough to capitalize on the picks that they got. You mentioned the fact that they were popping far less specials, but neither team were popping very many specials to begin with. Which does make sense, but that just kind of signifies that they're not laying down a lot of paint. They're playing too slow and not moving forward. And when you move forward, you have a lot of paint to lay down around you constantly. When you play aggressive enough and play fast enough, all the stats are going to go up. Your kill, your deaths, your specials, your paint output, everything. If you're doing it correctly, everything will go up.
Whew. Okay, and that, the Grillers will move on to play Radiance, but I believe we're going to be moving on to the top of the bracket to give you the bunnies as they await the winner of Avalanche, and maps and modes have changed. But before any of that happens, we're going to take a quick break and then bring you winners semifinals. You are watching Low Ink in July.